right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, and Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Double honors be to our apostles and our elders, great millstone, taught us the truth. Peace and salutations unto the elect. So, yeah, man, this is the book of Galatians, chapter 5, and verse 7. It says, "Ye did run well." It said, "Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. But I have confidence in you through the Lord, that you will be none otherwise minded. But he that trouble you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be." All right. So he that trouble you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. All right, because we're building the third temple here. Every man that's of the Lord, that's of the election, that's of the Heavenly Father, Lord, set up to build, is doing the Most High's job. So when you trouble a man in his building, that's that's wicked in the eyes of the Lord, Okay. Scripture say, if it be at all possible, live peaceably with all men. You don't go out there looking for trouble. And go out there inciting riots or like Julio Fulio. You don't go out there, dissing the dead ops and doing all this different shit, because that's gonna come back to you. So, you try to live peaceably with all men, for the most part. You try to do what you can to live peaceably amongst all men, but here it is. The name of the game is peace at the end of the day. Blessed are the peacemakers, right? But I get the word for trouble real quick. I get the word for trouble, man. Real quick. It says to agitate, to trouble a thing by movement of its parts to and fro, to cause one inward commotion, to take away his calmness of mind, disturb his equanimity. You see? To disturb his equanimity, man. If somebody comes to stir up your equanimity, that's a emotional damage, man. Somebody come up there disturbing you while you working, while you sleeping, while you doing something. All right, that's that could throw off your rhythm. That throws off your messes with you. It's just an inconvenience, man. So you don't want to trouble the Lord's men in their building, because the Lord said, "He that trouble you shall bear his indignation." You know, he shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be, no matter who it is. Because the Most High sent you out there to do a job, and if somebody gets in your way, you know, that's he's getting in the way of the Most High's work. He's troubling the Most High's building. He or she, they, them, you know. So and that's why the Lord made that statement, Galatians 5:10, right? So actually, look at this word equanimity, right? The word for equanimity, real quick. Oh damn, my screen just had frozen on me. Yeah, equanimity. It says fairness, impartiality, evenness of mind, calmness, goodwill, kindness. Mild, kind, literally, even mindedness, right? Mind of spirit, evenness of temper. Right. So to trouble, right? To trouble someone means uh he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. Means someone agitating you, troubling you, bringing you headaches, you know, drama, giving you a hard time, you know. Okay, why are you doing the work? You know, why you building? All right, the Lord will deal with those type of individuals, man. To agitate, to trouble a thing by movement of its parts to and fro, to cause one inward commotion, to take away his calmness of mind, to disturb his equanimity, to disquiet, to make restless, to stir up, to trouble, to strike one's spirit with fear and dread, to render anxious or distressed, to perplex the mind of one by suggesting scruples or doubts. All right. To agitate, to trouble a thing by the movement of its parts to and fro, to cause one inward commotion, take away his calmness of mind, disturb his equanimity, to disturb his equanimity, to disquiet, to make restless, to stir up, or to trouble. Right. So if someone's troubling you, man, you know, like the bully at school, you know, the Lord will remove them by trying to trouble you while you're building, you know. And being in this truth, you're gonna encounter a lot of trouble, man. All right, Job 14:1, real quick. It says, hey, Job 14:1, it says, man that's born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. And he cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. And doest thou not open thy eyes upon such a one and brings me into judgment with thee? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? No, not one. All right. So a man that's born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. You're already born into this world, catching all kind of hell, you know, people talking shit, this and that. You gotta struggle for everything you got. And here it is, you're gonna, you know, life is already hard enough. And my mom used to always say something, you know, she's in Spanish used to be like, um, the saying goes, you know, life is already complicated enough, you know, don't make it harder for yourself. In a matter of speaking, right? So so man that's born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble, right? So you're full of trouble, you know, even though you know you might have a little grace here and there, but for the most part, you're always going through something. You know? And while we in this thing building, you know, they're gonna be individuals, people that are set up as scoffers, mockers, talkers, you know, uh, false brethren, you know, and all of the like that will try to hinder the building, you know, or try to, you know, or Satan, you know, will hop on them to try to disturb your peace, you know, try to make things harder for you, you know, while you're doing the work. But to no avail, because you could do nothing against the truth before the truth. Job 15:21, it says, a dreadful sound is in his ears, and prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid, and they shall prevail against him as a king ready to battle. For he stretched out his hands against the Most High, and strengthened himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him, even upon his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers, because he covereth his face with fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. It says, and he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in houses which no man habiteth, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof anymore. And he shall not depart out of darkness, the flame shall dry up his branches by the breath of his mouth. Shall he go away? Let him not that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. And it shall be accomplished before his time, his branch shall not be green. And he shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity. and their belly prepared deceit. So, so trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. All right, this devil. All right, and because he's troubling us in our building, 2/3 of our people, they're troubling us in our building. They're trying to make this thing harder for you. You know, you'll Satan might hop on your damn one of these women to make this shit hard for you. You know, to test your faith. You know, because that's the name of the game. The name of the game is to be tested. The name of the game is going through things. You know, and sometimes the Lord will send particular tests your way. You know, to trouble you a little bit. You know. All right. A little obstacle course, a little challenge, man. But to no avail. At the end of the day, it's par for the course, you know. But he that troubles us, man, shall bear his judgment, no matter who it is, whether small or great, you know, whatever it may be. Right? Isaiah 54:11, it says, "O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with the sapphires, and I will make thy windows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and thy borders of pleasant stones. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established, thou shalt be far from oppression. For thou shalt not fear from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. That's the missiles. Now it says 17 verse, no weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me. Right. So no weapon formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise up against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me. All right. So every tongue that rises up against us in judgment thou shalt condemn. Right. Whosoever shall trouble you shall bear his indignation, whoever it is, whoever it may be, no matter what it is, no matter what. If they're hindering your building, they trying to stop you from teaching His word, or you know, trying to tell you to don't teaching those names, you know, or don't say this, don't say that, you know, that don't teach that prophecy right there. Don't go into this. Oh, you're not a man of the heavenly Father. You this, you that. Uh, Whosoever trouble you shall bear his indignation, whoever he shall be, his judgment. All right. Job chapter 27 and verse 1. Moreover, Job continued his parable and said, as the Most High liveth, who hath taken away my judgment, and the Almighty who hath vexed my soul. All the while my breath is in me, and the spirit of the Most High is in my nostrils. My lips shall not speak of wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. The Most High forbid that I should justify you till I die. I will not remove my integrity from me. My righteousness I will hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me as long as I live. Let my enemy be as the wicked, and he that rises up against me as the unrighteous. Right? Let my enemy be as the wicked, and he that rises up against me as the righteous, as the unrighteous, Salaki, as the unrighteous. It says, for what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he have gained, when the Most High take away his soul? Will the Most High hear his cry when trouble cometh upon him? Will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon the Most High? I will teach you by the hand of the Most High. That which is the Almighty will I not, that which is with the Almighty I will not conceal. Behold, all yourselves have seen it. Why then are you thus altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, is for the sword, and then his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. All right. So that's the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors. An oppressor is troubling you in building. The oppressor could be your own people too. Your own people is oppressing you too. You know, in the hood, in the ghetto. You know, everywhere you go, you know your people are They're speaking against this truth. You know, that's oppression. Every time somebody comes up there and start scoffing and shit, they're trying to oppress this thing. They're trying to tell you, oh, you gotta love everybody and all this stuff. So that's the heritage of the oppressors. They're telling you it's wrong. You teaching hate. Go get a job. Like these people like Anton Daniels and them. Anton Daniels and them is hindering our building. They're hindering our building. They're trying to trouble us, man. Talking about y'all stink, y'all this, y'all that. Y'all are grapists. Y'all are grapists. Y'all do this and y'all do that. Why don't y'all go do something else with y'all life? Trying to stop the building. Trying to stop the spiritual building that's going on. It says Psalms 9:7. It says, "But the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment. He shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people and uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. It says, sing praise to the Lord, which dwell in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. And when he make an inquisition for blood, he remembereth them, and he forget not the cry of the humble." He forgets not the cry of the humble. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me, that thou liftest me up from the gates of death. Right. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me, that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. All right. So consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me. Right. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 6. Ask not wherefore do and see whether a man doth travail with child, and wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their power. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Right. Alas, that day is great, so it's none like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it, because that's how the Lord works. Balance. It's all about balance. Even though you catching trouble and you catching hell, the Lord said, I will or you're going through the most tumultuous time in history, which is Jacob's trouble, which we're in the beginning stages of, hasn't really intensified to the max in this land, but you'll know when you're in there. Kind of all hell breaking loose, all kind of shit going on here. Famines, you know, micro CHIPs being implemented, or things of that nature. So it says, Psalms chapter 10 and verse 1, why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the device that they have imagined. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices which they have imagined. Right. Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not at all his thoughts. For his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right. So the Lord is not going to hide himself in the time of trouble. All right. He's not going to hide himself. That's why the scripture say, what we have confidence in the Lord. Right. We have confidence that he's not going to hide himself in that time when you really need him. Because he's showing you that he's with you. All right. Psalms chapter 13 and verse 1, it says, how long wilt thou forget me, O Lord? How long wilt thou hide thy face? For me, how long shall I take counsel in my soul, have sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? And consider and hear me, O Lord, my power, and light my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say I have prevailed against him, and those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. See, well, those that trouble me should not rejoice when you're moved, because the Lord will establish your feet. Okay, but I have trusted in thy mercy, and my heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord because he have dealt bountifully with me. All right, in the time of trouble and distress, so he dealt bountifully with you. You know, giving you the sure mercies of David. All right, as it were, giving you peace and safety from him that puffeth at him. Um, it says Psalm chapter 20 and verse 1, the Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The Lord shall hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thy help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings and accept thy burnt offerings, that burnt sacrifice, Selah. Grant thee according to thy own heart and fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation. In the name of our power, we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now I know that the Lord saveth his anointed, and he will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our power. They are brought down and fallen. We are risen and stand upright. Save, Lord, let the King hear us when we call. All right. So the Lord will hear in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob shall defend thee. Right. In the day of the time of trouble. You know, whosoever trouble you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. All right. Psalms chapter 27 and verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? For the Lord is my strength of my life, or who shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come up to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Then a host should encamp against me, and my heart should not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the house, the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the time of trouble he was hide me in his pavilion. And in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up on a rock. All right. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about. Therefore will I offer in this tabernacle sacrifices of joy. Will I sing? I will sing praise unto the Lord. All right. So the Most High will hide me in his pavilion, man. All right. In the time of trouble, you'll be hid in the pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. All right. Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 24. It says, abide, O still, my people, take thy rest, for thy quietness still shall come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants who I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from amongst thy number. It be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. When the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. Be thou joyful, O thy mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. All right, remember thy children that sleep, for I will bring them out the sides of the earth and show mercy unto them, for I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty. All right, embrace thy children until I come and show mercy unto them, for my wells run over and my grace shall not fail. All right. When the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. All right. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 32, it says, and he said unto me, hear, and I will instruct thee. Hearken to the things that I say, and I shall tell thee the more. I said, speak on, my Lord. Then he said unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. Lovest thou the people better than he that made them? And I said, no, Lord, but of very grief I have spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High, and to seek out part of his judgment. And he said unto me, thou canst not. And I said, wherefore, Lord? Whereunto was I born then? Or why was it not my mother's womb, then my grave, that I might not see the travail of Jacob and the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel? He said unto me, number me the things that thou art not yet come, and gather me the dross that are scattered abroad, make me the flowers green again that are withered, and open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the sign of a voice, and then will I declare to thee the thing that thou laborest to know. All right, because Ezra was asking the angel, right? How why you made me live to see all this travail of my people and to wear some stock? You got me, catching hell basically. You brought me here just to see all this madness. Now it says 38 verse, and I said, O Lord that bears rule, who may know these things? But he hath not his dwelling with men. For as for me, I am unwise. How may I speak of these things whereof thou askest me? Then he said unto me, like as thou canst not do one of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. You don't love these people more than me, all right? These are my people, all right? So it said, and I said, behold, O Lord, yet thou art nigh unto them that be reserved to the end. And what shall they do after they have been before me, or that we may be, or we that be now, or that that come after us, or that they shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. I said, so I answered, couldst that not make those that have been made now, that are to come at once, that thou mayest show that judgment the sooner? Then he answered me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them all at once that are created therein. So do you love these people more than me? You don't love these people more than me. You don't know the love that I have for my people. So the things that I made you go through ultimately are for a reason. Don't My thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways. 2 Corinthians 8 and 15. Now therefore, Lord, I will speak touching man in general, thou knowest best, but touching thy people for whose sake I am sorry, and for thine inheritance for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, for whose sake I am troubled. Therefore I will begin to pray before thee for myself and for them, for I see the falls of us that dwell in the land, but I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come. As touching my people, for whose sake I am sorry, and for thine inheritance for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, of whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, whose sake I am troubled. Therefore I will begin to pray before thee, and for myself, and for them, for I see the falls of us that dwell in the land, but I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come. Therefore hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. This is the beginning of the words of Esdras before he was taken up. And I said, O thou that dwellest in everlasting, which beholdest from above things in heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose service is conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. Whoso look dry up the depths, and indignation maketh the mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesseth. O hear the prayer of thy servant, and give ear to the petition of thy creature. For while I live, I will speak, and so long I have understanding, I will answer. O look not upon the sins of thy people, but on them which serve thee in truth. And regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimony in afflictions, in what? In trouble. In trouble. All right. 2 Corinthians 10 and 30. It says, and lo, I lay as one that had been dead, in my understanding taken from me. And he took me by the right hand and comforted me and set me upon my feet and said unto me, what aileth thee? What's troubling you? And why art thou disquieted? Why is thy heart understanding? Why is thy understanding troubled in the thoughts of thy heart? And I said, because thou hast forsaken me, and yet I did according to thy words. And I went into the field, and lo, I have seen, yet I see that which I am not able to express. And he said unto me, stand manfully, I will advise thee. Thus he said, speak on, my Lord, and me only forsake me not, lest I die frustrated of my hope. For I have seen that which I knew not, and hear that which I do not know. Or is my sense deceived, or my soul in a dream? Now therefore I beseech thee, show thy servant this vision. And he answered me then and said, hear me, and I shall inform thee. and tell thee wherefore thou art afraid, for the highest will reveal many secret things unto thee. He have seen that thy way is right, for thou sorrowest continually for thy people, and makest great lamentation for Zion. This therefore is the meaning of the vision which thou sawest lately, right? The angel said, "What he seen the Most High seen that your way is right, and thou sorrowest continually for your people, right? And makest great lamentation for Zion. This therefore is the meaning of the vision which thou sawest. Thou sawest a woman mourning, and thou beginnest to comfort her. But now seest thou the likeness of the woman no more, but there appeared unto thee a city builded. And whereas she told thee of the death of her son, this is the solution. This woman whom thou sawest is Zion, and whereas she said unto thee, even she whom thou seest as a city builded. Whereas I say, she said unto thee that she hath been 30 years barren. Those are the 30 years where there was no offering made in her. But after 30 years, Solomon built the city and offered offerings. Then the barren bare a son. Whereas she told thee that she nourished him with labor, that was the dwelling in Jerusalem. Right. So ultimately, that city which is being built, all right, no one will hinder that building. No one will stop that building. All right. So whosoever trouble you shall bear his indignation, whosoever he be. All right. All right. We're in trouble, perplexed on every side, but nevertheless, the Lord will not let the patience of the godly be frustrated. All right. So with that, Kahala Imlaya Hawu Bashim Nashai Bashim Kakudash, the monster apostle elder great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom. Shalom.